There's a theory out, and it may be considered fact depending on which part of the audience you are, which audience this may go out to, who may come across this video. But energy harvesting and universal vampirism is possibly at play. The way it goes, and there's some things that, well, I guess they can be discussed but not alluded to as far as any names or anybody, like any allegations or anything of that nature. But let's just say there's an invention called adrenochrome. And let's say that invention involves torture and fear. And at the maximum point of fear, chemical is abstracted from the cerebral cortex or the spinal fluid. And this is in a combination of adrenaline is like some kind of life force that makes you maybe 7 times superhuman, so to speak, going at roughly $3 to $4 million a gallon. So whether this is true or not, point to what some of these, and again, this is theorized, what some of these entities in higher dimensions can do. If your energy isn't harvested that way, then perhaps what if there's a perverted form of what is called the resurrection of the dead? What if there's a day and a time planned where all of the superstars and entertainers that you thought were dead show up before you in real physical form, no holographic technology? And are you going to be one of the ones who says, don't believe it, they never really died? Or will you die from the sight of it? Because something like that, amongst all however many billion of us there is on the planet, I'm sure somebody would die from fright, from shock. Somebody. With that being said, if we tap back into the whole surveillance thing and the constant 24-hour recording of all humans on the planet, and the double surveillance of not the double blind, but the single blind study, where the mirror is on their side and we can't see, what if all of our reactions based on crisis events, what if those things are being siphoned? Now, you have to imagine, if somebody is sociopathic with a very dark sense of humor and disposition, they might be, for all intents and purposes, and sorry for the slang, they might be getting their rocks off watching you cry over a superstar that you thought died. And then, before you know it, they plan a resurrection from the dead on you. And all of a sudden, all of these actors, rappers, singers, entertainers, presidents, they just come back to life on you. But not really. Where are all of these stars going once their careers are over? Like I said in another video, you don't see them all out at the sports games. Are they all hanging out at their mansions? Is no one going outside anymore? Now that can't be the best existence, because you get the whole passage of what does it mean to gain the whole world and lose your soul? But after you lose your soul, you end up losing the world too if you can't go out in the public. If you have to live a whole different life as somebody else, somewhere else, do you have to go through painful plastic surgeries? Is it your clone that's going to sit here and represent you, but hiding out on an island somewhere? How fun is that if you can't go to the store? If you can't go outside? If you can't go down the block? If you can't stand at the corner and hand out $100,000? What good is your millions if you can't go back to your hood and do things like this and say, yes, I truly made it. And we have control over the resources we make. Why are there NDAs that are signed? Why do they have to sign it? What is it that they can't talk about? These are questions. And there are a lot of people giving a lot of different answers. So I'm kind of placing a compendium of different information that's out there and just presenting the question of what if, because handling all of this, regardless of which reality this falls on, there's still one universal truth to this. In the story of your life, you are the main character.